Statics involves a lot of triangles, and it's a good idea for us to review some of the basic concepts of triangle. Now, the first one I want to look at is the right triangle. The right triangle is one that has an angle of 90 degrees, okay, and that's denoted by the little red square in the bottom right of this one. It has sides of A, B, and a hypotenuse is C. Now remember, the interior angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Therefore, if one of the sides is 90, as in this case, the other two angles must add up to 90. If we look at the sides there, it's using and applying Pythagorean's theorem, a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. The sine of theta is equal to a divided by c, which is the opposite divided by the hypotenuse. The cosine of theta is b divided by c, which is the adjacent divided by the hypotenuse. And tangent of theta is a divided by b, which is opposite divided by the adjacent. It's important to understand how we label triangles so there's no confusion. In this case, we have a non-right angled triangle, and we label the sides with the small letters as we did with the right triangle. So we have sides A, B, and C. The angles are then labeled as the capital letters that are across from the side. So angle A, denoted by the big A, is across from the small a, which represents the side A, and so on. The law of cosine is very useful if you know, say, the length of two of the sides and an angle. So in this case, we are using the length, we know A, and the length B, and we know the angle C. And if we know those, we can use this equation to solve for the side C. This is also known as SAS, or side angle side law. So in this case, c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine of c. You'll note that this is very similar, almost actually it is exactly the same as if it was the Pythagorean's theorem, which would be, c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared, okay? And if c is 90, this would go away, and you would be left with the Pythagorean's theorem. The law of sine is also very useful, and it is simply stated as a divided by sine of a is equal to b divided by sine of b is equal to c divided by sine of c. And you can do the inverse of this and it would hold true. In other words, the sine of A divided by A is equal to the sine of B divided by B, and the sine of N is equal to the sine of C divided by C, because it's just ratios. So with these two laws, the law of cosine and the law of sine that we just went over, you can usually be able to ascertain what all the other elements of the triangle are.